Hey, I'm Hugh, and I talk to you guys a lot about scam products, but today I got something a little bit different. I want to talk to you about my everyday carry items, and most of them are under $10, and they're great gift ideas, and they work great for me, and I trust them with my life, some of these items. I hope they work for you as well, whether for yourself or for a gift idea. And if you guys use something different for your everyday carry that you think is superior, please let me know. Every guy has a little checklist when they leave the house, or at least they should. Keys, knife, lighter, cell phone, wallet. 5 things, one hand. If I have those things, I'm pretty good to go. All right, and the first thing on that list is keys. So on my house keys, I have 2 keys here. I also have the first thing on the list, which is a full-size Bic lighter. I've been using these for 25 years. Full-size Bic lighters are the best thing in the world for starting a fire. They're also a good light source. I understand they don't work if it's cold, but wherever I am, this is in my pocket. This thing will work way better than any other option that I have in quickly starting a fire, repeatedly starting a fire, and be able to use as a light if a battery is dead on my cell phone or something else. Obviously, it's not the safest one, but full-size Bic lighters are great. You can buy a 6-pack of them for like $7 or something on Amazon. Don't buy them individually at the store, it's a ripoff. Buy a 6-pack, these things are awesome. Mine is modified. I have put on there a 9mm split ring, and I put it through the little holes in the back. You can buy a pack of these split rings at Walmart, 7, 8, and 9mm. I think you get like 100 of them, so like 30 of each of the types for $3 or $2.66 or something. That's what the package looks like. So you can attach your Bic lighter to a lanyard. And the lanyards I use are Kayak Lanyards. These things are great. I had one for years that I kept my pocket knife on, and then I gave it to my brother. And we were working in the woods one day and he got it caught on a tree and broke it after like 10 years. But inside, this little stretchy thing is a piece of metal cable. So it's really strong. I just clip it to a belt loop like that. And then I can find my keys and my lighter whenever I want them. I can use my lighter and never lose it. So that's number 1 and number 2. Kayak lanyards, these things are cheap too. They're like, a 6-pack is like $9 or something, and they last so long. And they're great for lots of things. If you need to put a little leash on your Bluetooth speaker, you're worried you're gonna lose it off the boat, or if you want something that's strong and waterproof and stretchy, you can use one of these. They're great. Keys, knife is the next thing on the list. I prefer a neck knife just because it's always accessible and I don't have to fish through my pockets. My specifications for a neck knife are very specific. It has to sit on my rib cage, not touching my xiphoid process, because if I crash my motorcycle or an airbag goes off, I don't want this thing going into my throat or into my stomach. So my neck knife has to be only a certain length. This is a $10 M-Tech. It used to have 3 thumb holes here. I cut one of them off to shorten it a little bit. This is a knockoff of a CRKT Minimalist, which I actually just got one from my brother for Christmas. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. But this is the knockoff, and I've been using this for a couple years, and it works just fine. This is a $10.79 on eBay. It sits nice and flat. A good knife, whether it's a pocket knife or a neck knife, is a very important thing, and this one for $10, can't beat it. And if you notice this little red thing right here, this thing is a Sharpens Best tungsten carbide sharpener. You can sharpen knife blades or other things. This thing I've had for a while. If you're interested in learning how this thing works or more information about it, I recommend you check out Brad Buckner at sharpensbest.com. He has a bunch of videos explaining how to use his sharpeners there, and they're pretty interesting. And this thing sits flat on my chest behind the knife the whole time. You know, and then I got my little, and then I have my little miraculous medal from my mom on the front. The next thing is not on my list of the 5 things that I bring out every day, but it is something that I carry every day when I'm working, or in the winter time I stick one in my jacket. I'm talking about these super cheap rechargeable LED headlamps. Now this one I literally have had for I think 8 or 9 years. This is not the original strap. It's missing its buttons in here. This is what it looked like originally. It had a strap like this. It had some nice glow in the dark buttons, but I've used this thing so much that I've lost the buttons, and it still works just fine though. And honestly, the best thing about this is that it's not super high powered. So if I turn it on, turn it on high, turn it on low, this thing will run for like 12 hours or something. So I can use it all week anytime that I need to use light, and it's great. And these ones are low powered and they last forever. And that's what I want with my little everyday carry flashlight. I want something that's gonna work every time I pull it out of my pocket. And this thing's also not gonna burn itself up in your pocket if you turn it on. So like getting a cheap, these are like $8 or whatever, cheap LED rechargeable headlamp to stick in your pocket. It's way smaller than a conventional flashlight to carry in my pocket, or at least it feels like that. $10, great gift. The next thing is on my keys, is this Sabre pepper spray. These are $10. I live in a restrictive gun state, but I do believe that people should be able to protect themselves. You win every fight that you don't get into, but if you do have to get into a fight, having something like pepper spray is a very good way to not permanently hurt someone, but to get out of a dangerous situation. So, I really can't recommend this Sabre brand enough. I've tried one of them out, before, and this one I've personally been carrying for a couple years. I should probably upgrade it now. I don't know how long pepper spray lasts, but I think I've been carrying this particular one for 4 years now, and it's great. The other thing on my keys that I've been carrying for 11 years is it's a Ferro rod. In this little thing is a mini Ferro rod, and then it's wrapped with paracord that is filled with waxed jute twine. And I did that all myself. I bought a pack of mini Ferro rods for like 10 bucks. And then I took out the core of the paracord and I shoved in some waxed jute paracord into there, and I wove it into the shape. And I'm not gonna take it apart to show you, but this, in case of emergency, if I had lost my lighter or something, I just had my keys and I needed to start a fire, I could have a fire going with this Ferro rod and the back of one of my keys in probably less than 2 minutes, which is extremely important. If you lose your source of heat where I am, that's the biggest thing that's gonna kill you here. It's not dehydration, it's exposure to the elements when you live in a place like I live, up in the mountains. So, fire is important. Having a source of fire is a source of light, a source of heat. It scares off animals. It cooks food, it sanitizes water. It's very important to carry a source of fire because you never know when you're gonna be stranded, or if you get in a car accident, or for signaling purposes. So having a Bic Lighter and having a backup source of ignition that's waterproof and windproof is really ideal. This is the smallest package that fits in my pocket and doesn't get in the way that I can think of. There's a lot of different things that'll work for you, but for me, wrap a mini Ferro rod with some jute twine paracord. That's the way to go. The next thing on my list goes inside my wallet, and these not everybody might have, but they're super cheap. It's like $9 for a pack of 100. And these are surgical scalpels. Now these are come in individual pouches, and they also are in a little bit of a cardboard protective. Here, I'll open one up to show you. They're also in a little bit of a cardboard protective here, so they don't break through these pouches very easily. And then you have an extremely sharp implement on you. Having a sharp, clean knife can be important in a lot of situations. It's weird the times that I've actually used these. I've cut people's stitches out of their mouths after they've had surgery. I knew a dude that got hit in the face with a pool stick, and he had stitches they left in there, and reached his mouth with a clean razor blade and cut out the stitches and pulled them out for him. And just random stuff. These little clean scalpels sometimes come in handy. If you have a scalpel handle, you can use them, a little bit more like an X-Acto knife and stuff. But I just have used these scalpel blades, stick them in my wallet, and I use them every once in a while. And for the 8 cents or whatever they're clutch. You can use them maybe as a mini fishing lure, or to, fashion snares or jigs if you needed to in an emergency situation. I don't know. I don't do a lot of hunting or trapping. I like guns and I like outdoors activities, but I don't really go into the, getting animals out of it thing. Anyway, these are great. So I had to zoom out a little bit to show this next item. And once I found these things, I love them. I'm a tall, skinny dude and my pants falling down while I'm working is like a huge problem. So the best thing to keep my pants up I found was not a belt or like normal suspenders. I found these M1952 military surplus suspenders. They go on like a backpack. They cross in the back of your back like that. And then they hook onto a belt loop like that. So they're pretty nice. And if you can see, I'm kind of maxed out height here for them. They're as tall as they can go. And I don't know if I was a more muscular guy, if they would still be as comfortable, but if you're a little shorter than me, you know, they're probably work just fine. And they're extremely comfortable. And they're like $5 a pair from Allegheny Surplus is where I buy them. I have like 4 different pairs. And a little bonus item, something that I use every day. I don't really carry it with me, but Burts Bees hand salve. Working outside in the cold in the wintertime, your hands get chapped. Best way to keep your hands from cracking and burning and getting cut in the wintertime. Keep them moisturized, man. It's not a secret. You know, your hands are stronger and leather is stronger when it's moisturized, you know? Keep your skin strong and your hands will be strong. All right, these are things that I use every day that I really do believe in. I hope this list helps. Gave you some gift ideas for somebody, that's great. If it's some ideas for yourself, that's awesome too. You guys have a good day. Let me know if there's something that you use every day that I missed, you know, something great, and I'm willing to, you know, change up my kit. All right, thanks.